Hello, it's me, Hemp Peter again, here to do another video. Since the whole year, every single Saturday, I'll be doing a video. So it's been 52 Saturdays in a row since I've done videos. But I'm pretty sure y'all don't care about that. Y'all just want to go straight to the point. The reason y'all went to this video, and that's how to get out of debt. So how do you do it? First of all, admit that you have a problem. Acknowledge that you are in debt. Because if you don't admit that you have a problem, you're like, oh, I'm good, I'm not in debt. You're just gonna start piling more debt. And that debt's gonna get bigger, it's not gonna get better until we acknowledge it. And the second step is to take responsibility. Don't say it's somebody else's fault that you're in debt. Take responsibility. So you're like, you know what, Kent? It's not my fault I'm in debt. My brother put me in debt. I kept having to bail him out of jail. My friends put me in debt. They kept asking for money because they never had money every time we went to a restaurant. Well, you know what? You can always tell your friends, no, you're not going to give them any more money. And as for your brother that you're always bailing out of jail, you know what? Maybe you should let him stay in jail for a while. He might learn. Another step is to see where your money's going. Because if you don't know where your money's going, that could also put you in debt. So maybe you look around and see what you're spending too much money on. Maybe you're spending too much money on eating out. Maybe you've been eating out like 5 times a month. You might want to cut it down to like once a month. So yes, it's all right to eat out, but just don't do it all the time because, let's be honest, eating out is expensive. A meal could be like $20 for one person, and some of these restaurants, it shoot over $30, $40 just for one person. So things like that, I say you only do it like once a month. Don't do that like 5 times a month. Unless you're like ground staff, and yes, then you could eat out more often. You can eat out every single day if you make as much money as ground staffing. But of course, even he doesn't eat out that much. And you know he's capable of doing it. Maybe you're spending too much money on clothes. You're buying clothes every single month. You really don't need to buy clothes every single month. Because clothes, they can last for months, years, decades. I mean, there's clothes I have for like over a decade. I still wear today. Especially some jackets. There's like one jacket I had since I was like 16. I still wear it sometimes. So clothes, they do last a long time. Jackets last even longer where I live because I live in Florida. So it doesn't get cold that much. It does get colder in the southern part, of course. So you really don't need to buy clothes every single month. I say you buy clothes like once every few months. That's probably a better deal. One thing I like about when I stopped growing, I could wear clothes longer. I didn't have to keep buying new clothes as much. That's one thing that sucks about being a kid. You keep growing, you have to buy more clothes. I say once I got about 17 or 18, I could wear the same clothes for like years. My feet stopped growing even earlier. I think my feet been the same size since I was like 15. So I've been able to wear shoes. I could wear like the same pair of shoes for years since then. Most people watching this video are adults, I imagine. Now you are getting bigger. That's another problem. Paying off credit card debt. I already did a video talking about credit card debt, so I'll probably put it down here. so I'm not going to go over it too much. All I'm going to say is the credit card that you want to pay off, just start using it. That way it'll be paid off faster. Then there's a rent solution. What is this? Let's say you got an apartment for like $550 a month. Because this is a good deal, but 5 years later, that rent charge you like $700 a month. Obviously, you would never spend $700 a month on your apartment. I would never spend $700 a month. I would never got into his apartment with $700 a month. But of course, you're here. Unless you plan on moving back with your parents. If you still have parents. You're stuck with that $700 a month. A couple, not more than a couple actually, but one solution you could do is go for a cheaper apartment. One that's cheaper than what you're living. But of course, the same thing could happen there. So I say rent does kind of suck, does it? But there's another solution to get more income. And how do you do that? One thing you could do is, if you didn't work at your job for a while, you can ask for a raise. Don't do this if you haven't been working at your job for like a couple months and you ask for a raise. I don't think it's going to go well for you. But if you've been working at your job for like 1 or 2 years, your pay still hasn't increased, I say you deserve. I say you have the right to ask for a raise. Because most jobs, they do increase your pay over time. But your job's not doing that. I mean, that could be a big problem. You may want to get on to them about it. Or you may want to look for another job. One thing you could do, if another job is offered to pay you more, you go back to your other job, the current job, and say that you tell them how much the other job's going to pay you. And who knows, they might decide, if they really like you, they will increase your pay. And you may not even have to change jobs. They're going to increase your pay. So that's one thing you could do. It doesn't always work because some companies, they can't afford to give you a raise. So getting other jobs is an option. And of course, a side hustle. I talk about side hustle in my videos. Direct mail is another one, but the thing with direct mailing, it actually costs money to do the direct mailings. And you rely on somebody sign up under you. So you could actually lose money with direct mailing. But if you had a side hustle that was paying you $150, $200 a month, guess what? That's going to cover that $150 increase on rent that he's giving you. So you pretty much catch back up or maybe exceed to the income that you had before the rent increase. Another way to get more income is the stock market. And some of y'all are probably wondering, how the heck is the stock market going to increase my income? Well, you think of the stock market as debt, as losing money instead of gaining money, then yes, it's not going to help you, man. But you look at it in a different angle, from a different perspective. If you see it as an investment, something that's going to give you money instead of take money from you, then it can help you out some. Well, of course, like I said, there's growth stock and there's dividend stock. But let's go with the growth stock first. Let's say you bought 10 shares of Tesla for they each cost $100, so totals, it was $1,000. But then Tesla shot up to $700. So guess what? You now have all that Tesla that's worth $7,000 now, and you only paid $1,000. So you had $6,000 in profit. So you know what you can do with that $6,000? You can pay off some of your debt with that $6,000. Or even better, what if you actually bought 100 shares of Tesla when it was $100? So that would have been like what, 10 grand? Then it shot up to like $700. So that's 70 grand right there. So you made like 60 grand in profit. So a lot of us, some of us, that's all we need. That's all we need to get out of debt is that 60 grand. So that could help a lot of us out. But that's not really income. You pretty much rely on for the stock to go up. But there's a different kind of stock, dividend stock, that does pay you. I mean, most of them pay you like quarterly, but there's some that does pay monthly. Some, mostly like the REIT stocks, like Realty Income, they do pay monthly. But even once every 3 months is still good. So let's talk about Shells, for example. So Shells pay around, I think it's like 24 cents every 3 months. They're probably wondering, how's 24 cents going to help me? Let's say you bought Shells like every single month in the last 5 years. So what is that? 60 shares of Shells. So 60 times 24 cents. So that's $14.40 every 3 months. Divided by 3. So that would give you like a $4.80. Did I say 5 years? You was doing this? Okay, now what you actually bought this for like 10 years? What you bought like one share of Shells in the last 10 years? So that's 120 times 0.24. And that's going to give you $28 a month divided by 3. So that's $9.60. I mean, it's not a lot of money, but it can help a little bit. But now, what if you had like 500 shares? Somehow you found yourself acquired 500 shares of Shells. So 500 times 24. So that'll give you $120 a month. So by 3, that's $40. That's like getting paid $40 a month. So $40 could actually help. You can add that $40 to your car payment or whatever debt you're in. So I hope that helped y'all out. That give you an idea of how to get out of debt. You just gotta acknowledge your problems, acknowledge you're in debt, admit that it's your fault, and then do something about it. So those are pretty much the steps in getting out of debt. So you like this video, give it a thumb up, subscribe to my channel. Remember, if you give me a like, it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. That way my video will be recommended to more people. And if you want to see my videos every time I upload, just hit on that bell button. That way, whenever I do a video, you'll be notified. So get out of debt and stay out of debt. Have a good weekend.